They show up. If a woman wants to have sex, all she has to do is show up and say yes. There's a line of guys ready to do it. Men, on the other hand, raised by women and listening to society, are told what women really want are kind men that make them laugh. All kinds of bullshit. Someone they can talk to that is not afraid to cry. All of this horse shit. What the hell are they describing? They're describing a woman. Someone in touch with their feelings, okay? A woman. Someone that's willing to cry, a woman. What they're describing is a girlfriend. And I'm not sure why they're doing this. Maybe it's because they don't know what the fuck they want. That very well could be. I already addressed that in one of my previous videos. It's, in the list. But they say one thing, they really want another. They say they want all of these qualities in a man, and then they go hook up with some bad boy that gets them knocked up. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Now, let's forget about trying to make sense. Let's think in terms of monkeys. Or just about any animal. Insert animal here that lives in a group. An awful lot of cats, monkeys, etc., they live in groups. All except the males. You got a bunch of females that are living in a group. And women travel around in gaggles. Gaggles with cankles. And you hear an awful lot of feminists today even saying this out loud, that the way societies should be structured is a group of women together, raising up their children together, and they have one alpha male that impregnates them all. Okay, now I never thought I'd hear a woman say that, but it makes sense. What we've done is we've taken a society that has been developed over hundreds of years in order to protect women and to protect their resources so that they were not destitute and the children die when men leave them. And we've subverted that, and so that women have no responsibility for any damn thing. A guy goes out, I saw a spreadsheet a while back, after she pops out 3 or 4 kids, and after she avails herself of all the public assistance and the child support that she gets from her ex, blah, 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 she has the capability or the resources available at her fingertips of $68,000 a year. Meanwhile, her husband has the equivalent of $15,000 to $27,000 a year that he has to live on. That's pretty fucked up. And she's the one that is filing for divorce. Why the fuck wouldn't they? I mean, they have every incentive in the world to use that pussy as a doggone cash machine. Popping them out and getting some more money from the government. Now, where does this money come from? It comes from men. It comes from the beta males. It comes from men that are too stupid to understand what's going on. They go out, they work hard, they pay their taxes, and then the government, basically they're forcibly taking people's property by threat of violence and imprisonment And then they're redistributing all this wealth to women to support their stupid ass. Okay, now we're back in the monkeys. Typically the way it works is that if a new alpha male comes in, vanquishes the old alpha male, then they go around and they kill all of the infant babies. And what that does is it brings the females back into estrus. And they breed them again. That ensures that they are providing resources, protection, etc. to their offspring, not someone else's offspring. So anything that is going to be a resource drain on that male, that new alpha male, he kills, unless it's his. Now, throughout history, in fact, you look in the Bible, women can go from one man to another, and they often did at the drop of a hat, whoever seems to be the alpha male at the time. Countless times, there are countless instances throughout history. You have one tribe warring against another. What do? They take the women of the vanquished tribe as war booty. Yes, double entendre. And even though these women may have had feelings for their mate, they transitioned into this new tribe. And and once they have children, now they have a vested interest in that new tribe because they are trying to raise those children. Same way with monkeys. It's all about the children. It's not about the mate. It's about the children. It's about finding the best genetics for your children. One of the first things that women do, when they see a really good-looking guy, somebody with all of the genetic markers that they're looking for, they'll instantly think subconsciously, man, we would have such beautiful children. Now, that's they may not even know that they're doing it. Some women are honest enough with themselves that they'll admit that. A lot of them don't want to because it paints them in a bad light. And the disconnect between the lizard brain and the front brain is what causes women to go fucking nuts when you point out inconsistencies that we've already discussed. As their genetic needs are met, after they popped out a few, then they're looking for resources to raise those kids. They've already fulfilled their genetic need. As I said, when women are ovulating, they're hornier than hell, and then at the tail end of it, as it goes down, they're in their dormant period. Now they'll get moody. They're looking for comfort, security, that sort of thing. You take that cycle, that 28-day cycle, and you stretch it out over their lifetime. And you're going to see the same cycle. You're going to see the same low sex drive, and then when they hit puberty, initially puberty, they get kind of odd looking because of just shit that goes on in puberty. But once they get out of that and they start to come into their own, they're hornier than hell, and they're going to stay horny until their late 20s, early 30s. And what they're doing right there is they are riding the cock carousel. They're banging every alpha male that they can. That's what's going on in their lizard brain. And there is today no incentive to not do that. Previously, there was some incentive not to do that. And that was the societal reins pulling them back, and that an unwed mother was looked down upon as though she was of questionable values, which they are. And they had this realization that, look, I need to lock down a reasonably good catch and someone that can provide for me. Now, way back in the day, that was back when men were men. And there's environmental factors and all kinds of shit that have turned men into women. All the stuff that we drink that's in plastic bottles and all of that bullshit, and the added soy that we're, consuming, that sort of stuff. What that's doing is it's putting chemicals into our body that are close cousins to estrogen. And we're losing a hell of a lot of our testosterone levels are going down. They're being masked. They're being, suppressed. And back in the day, men were going out and they were accomplishing things. They were doing things. But because of the way society is today, you're conditioned from an early age, you're put in this educational box and you're told you're supposed to be like a girl. You can't be a boy. Being boys is bad. It's toxic masculinity. When you're telling little 5 and 6 year old little boys that they have to act like little girls, you're fucking them up in the head. Little boy, one of my best friends when I was in elementary school, later he turned out to be a lot of a dick. But I didn't know any better. I was just a little kid. And what we did was we went out and fought. We'd beat the hell out of each other. Go to the principal's office. But we were being boys. That's what boys do. You take a bunch of puppies and you throw them into a pile and they're fighting with each other. That's the nature of animals. And it's this early stage that teaches boys how to relate to each other as men. You set boundaries, and you stand by those boundaries. If you violate those boundaries, walk away. Or a knuckle sandwich. And the thing is, women can't figure this out. Men can fight like a son of a bitch and then go have a beer. And it's okay. And if I think somebody's a dick on something, fine. He can be a dick. He does not dictate my life. Now, women, on the other hand, are all about cooperation. All right, because they're in a group. They want to be in this monkey troop. All right, and it's to women's benefit to be in a monkey troop because they can lean on each other. Men, on the other hand, do not do well in a monkey troop unless they're the ones that's with all these feminists that's just banging all of them and knocking them up, and then they can be in their little troop. And it's actually kind of disgusting, because what the hell this woman was advocating was, gee whiz, let's have a breed book. You dairy guys, you know what I'm talking about. Take this big book full of pictures of bulls, and you go through it, and yeah, okay, I want his semen. And you get that semen and you impregnate your cows with it. Maybe that is what women really want. And I've seen or read articles where that's happened, where a woman went to a sperm bank, got the name of the guy that she used to impregnate herself, and then sued him for child support. How fucked up is that? Sorry, tangent. Anyway, monkey troop, where as women get older and they start looking for security, they're looking for the bucks, alpha fucks, beta bucks. Now they really don't give a rat's ass about the guy that they are with. All they're looking for is his resources. They've got their 2.3 kids that from, one of 30 men, 30 alphas that she's fucked. And she wants some cuckold to support those kids. And the arguments that women make in favor of single mothers are just fucking off the wall. I mean, it makes no sense until you frame it in the way that I said. What they truly, truly want is they're looking for your money. And they know that they are on the backside of being desirable for a man. So they resort to shame and blame. If you don't want to hook up with a single mother and raise somebody else's kids, then you've got a small dick. I mean, they go to this infantile bullshit. Women stop developing mentally at about 12 to 14 years old. And that's where they stay. So, and men, if you encounter this bullshit, just walk away from it, because you don't need it. You do not need to have someone else put you in their box. Now, that's what's going on with women. That's what's going on in the relationship world. See where we're at on time. Oh, holy shit, 37 minutes. I guess I'm going to have to bust this one up.